Blog Talk Radio.
Please take all the necessary precautions to protect your constitution while listening to this broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Coming to you live via the internet. It's time for Rage Against the Regime. Let's get ready to rumble! Finally, a show for patriots, defending the Constitution and uncovering the truth at every turn, bringing you exclusive interviews and covering the topics the mainstream media doesn't dare to touch. Call in and join the discussion at 929-477-3565. That's 929-477-3565. And now, here are your hosts, Bobby Who's the Man and Becky Williams. Rage Against the Regime.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
A voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Tired of the lies, all the false narratives. For us to survive, we must stand up as Americans. Need to alter the course that's been written. It's history, not his story. They mix it in with fiction. Behind the scene decisions, you're blind to see the visions. Freedom isn't free, society is prison. Fed up, I won't let up. There's no more room for mess up. The administration's a bit outrageous. I think it's time we step up. How about I check off the definition of evil? Pay millions to bomb countries, but can't feed our own people. These countries don't even pose threats. Can Congress or progress? Syria knows GMOs left. Rothschilds want their own checks. Pipelines to control next. How many more lives will drones get? It's 7 countries, 5 years, destabilized. No sweat. I have a voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Political smokescreens, they're giving you nothing, no hope streams. I have children, where are they going? World War III, to grow up in that era is something that we don't want. The thought of that should scare ya. To cause and act prepare ya. No thought, just facts that flares up. False flag attacks won't spare ya. They bury ya, no care for ya. The credibility's been gone. The peace prize you sit on, you're pissing in a windstorm. Give it back, it's been gone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under. It's not about homegrown radical terrorists, more like brainwashing, driving fear in Americans. Many are sleeping, unaware of this, believing MSM, they're sheep. Now I'm very pissed. What about us? The dollar is increasing. We can't afford to live, but this problem is a peace thing. The power of the people is no secret. Look at Egypt. What do we get? No respect, because our free debt has interest. The preset is business. So banks never lose when they risk it. Just create more and lend it. So we take more, cause we spend it. Let's brainstorm for a second. Why do we support this? We're too nice, we forgive. Let's take back this fortress and secure it before it crumbles down to nothing. Stand tall, take the ball, don't fumble now, keep running. Not elected, they're selected. The president sits breastfed, and if they go against the agenda, well, you know they get dead. Look at the bigger picture. They make moves to get richer and sit back and laugh at events like Benghazi. Don't talk about conspiracies, shadow governments and Nazis. They catch wind, their heads spin. Now you're in the hot seat. These colors don't run, my flag flies high. Second Amendment says my gun is mine till I die. First Amendment says my lungs let me breathe for my speech. Speak truth, no sweet tooth, sugar coatings for the weak. impeachment for treason. No reason, because we can. What you're seeing, the agreement, no more bleeding, defeating these demons. Keep shining, believing. We're weakened, but we're still here. Your neighbors, don't leave them. Your rights, need to read them. We're human and we need to love each other. All around the earth, I walk on dirt. Treat me like your brother. I love you, please love me. We all should love our freedom. But answer this one question, can you tell me what we're free from?
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is that time again. Time for us to take the airwaves and try to bring you as much truth as we possibly can without the garbage of the mainstream media and the propaganda being filtered in. I'm your host, Bobby Who's the Man, and right there, that was PTP, who we had on last week. The name of that song is called Freedom, and the dumb being spelt like dumb, like, you know, I'm dumb. And along with me is always the vixen of, no, I'm not going to go through that again. That was too hard last week. Becky Williams. Hello, Becky. Welcome aboard.
Hey, brother, how you doing, man? I tell you what, I'm so angry today. It's a good thing that I didn't make it to Austin, because what I was told was said on the steps of Austin would have landed me in jail for attempted murder or murder itself. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm furious. I'm getting word from folks that went down to the Austin area of some very eye-opening confirmation or affirmation of what exactly it was that I stated that the Muslims are doing in Texas. But go ahead, brother. I'll rage about it in a minute.
Well, you know what? There's a lot to be talking about today. Yesterday we kind of got sidetracked because we were expecting to have a guest on with us, and you know, he wasn't able to make it, I guess. I mean, I don't know, because, you know, I never heard anything back because I had to leave the show last night. And didn't have a chance to listen to the show today. Sorry?
I spoke with him. He the area where he was, he went with his cousin, I think to get something to eat is what he said. He lost his phone. And by the time he retrieved his phone, it was quite later in the evening, and he was able to find his phone. I did have him on a show last night, Bank versus You. He will come back and talk to us on Rage Against the Regime. I worked until the wee hours of this morning on some things that we're going to do that he's going to help me with concerning Sharia law. And effectively, it's going to help every state, not just Texas. So he gives his apology. He explained the situation to me, but unfortunately we missed him yesterday. However, the Bank versus You, where I did actually bring him on to speak live on Bank versus You late in the evening last night, was an unbelievable amount of information and great information, and he's going to come back to Rage for us. If we don't have anybody booked tomorrow, I want to talk about that later, but we will be bringing him back in very near future.
Right. Okay, well, so now we know what's going on. So that's good with that. I mean, I wasn't worried about it. I figured something happened, and, you know, hey, you know, what are we supposed to do? There's not a whole lot we can do about it.
Right.
People, one thing that we need to keep in mind, okay, and this is something that is going on under our nose, and I've been getting tons of good information from a few different sources, but I'll just say the main source, and that's Gene Smith. There is a lot that needs to be talked about. My God, you know, just so much information that, you know, without me having Gene on, and you know, all of us really knowing about what's going on, I think that, you know, I definitely want to have Gene on with us to cover a lot of this, okay? And The main one being, I'm trying to remember, the TPP. That's very, very important, okay? A lot of people don't realize this, but if they actually do and put it all in place, okay, and they don't stop the fast track that's being put into place right now, we are going to have nothing but issues. All of our work and all of our industry is going to be sent out of here, okay? And what it's going to happen, see, it stands for Trans-Pacific Partnership, and what it's going to be is, what if that treaty goes into hand, okay, big corporations like Walmart, Goldman Sachs, Philip Morris, GE, GM, Apple, the list goes on and on and on. They're going to be given a lot of power.
Well,
and if we allow,
Bobby, it's part of the redistribution of wealth, if you will. They have agreed to do this globally because to establish a new world order, that has to be implemented. It's an absolute must. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No. You're right along with me there. So a lot of people probably don't even know about this, okay? People, please look into it. It's very, very important that we do something to try to stop this. If we do not do something about it and try to stop the fast track of that happening, we're going to be in more trouble than we are now at a quicker rate, okay? So I would like to have Gene on. I've been studying this pretty much all day today, been, reading the information that Gene sent me, and, there's a ton, I'm talking about a ton of information there, okay? And we need to try to get it out there. But we're not going to really get into that right now because, I'd rather have Gene on when we talk about it because Gene just studies this stuff like no tomorrow. So I would want to do that. Another thing, people, I don't know if any of you are paying attention to anything that's going on. There's reports that have come out that I guess we've been delivering more arms overseas to Iraq, and I guess, more arms to all the terrorist organizations and stuff over there. I have a feeling within the next couple of days here that with all the stuff that's being sent and that that ISIS is getting and everything else, that they're going to make a major move on Israel. I have a feeling it's coming. And I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing it right before our very eyes, that Israel's going to be under major attack because right now they're being surrounded big time.
America is helping them. Listen, it is by no mistake, once maybe, logistically, we either have the most inefficient, incapable individuals running logistics for weapons drops, Syria, or it is being done with purpose. Because 4 times now, they have dropped a crapload of ammo and weapons and supplies to the ISIS terrorists that they created themselves, trained, and are funding. So, let that resonate, people. That's truth, not a tinfoil assumption I drug out of my butt. That is fact.
Right. Well, there's not really a whole lot that can be done about that. We're not over there. And you know what? The way that I look at it, that's really not our problem right at this point. I think we need to focus more on our homeland, and try to secure our borders here and handle things here. And,
you're right,
hopefully
Bobby, but
things will work itself out. I'm sorry?
Bobby, it is a problem. Now I'll tell you why. Because ISIS is in America as well. They have sleeper cells all over this country. So it is a problem for us because the problem is Halliburton Halliburton, okay, Congress, all right, the likes of Pelosi and Feinstein and Obama and the rest of them, and the UN, Muslim cockroach pieces of shit, are the reason that ISIS, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and any other kind of terrorist jihadist cell exists today. They were created. They are foot soldiers. They are being given everything free in America because they have a task that they are to complete at the end of the day. Their war is coming, and it's a win-win situation for them because not only are they taking everything away from the infidel because in the Quran it says we don't have the right to anything, not only are they experiencing no taxation when everyone else is being taxed to death, they're being funded, given rights, and taken away our property, our lives. So, see, that's payment for them to be the foot soldiers of the water. Anybody understand?
No, I get it.
Or prove me wrong. Go ahead, brother.
No, I get it. No. What I was saying, I probably should have cleaned up what I was saying when I said it. That is a big problem, and I understand it's a huge problem. But right now we need to worry about what's in front of us, and try to handle things one at a time. You know, you and I talk about it all the time and say, you know, there's such a big list of things going on right now. How do we choose what to handle first? And it seems to me what we have here and now is the most important thing, you know, because we can't really control anything that's going on over there anyway. You know what I mean? Just try to handle what's in our own backyard and try to keep that down. Right.
Absolutely. They're one and the same. We have training grounds here. They train them, send them back over there. You know, Lackland Air Force Base right here in Texas has a friggin' mosque, and they recruit and require non-Muslim military personnel to attend the friggin' mosque. Okay?
Right.
We are in trouble. Right. We're in deep shit. I don't know what's going on up in your neck of the woods, but in my neck of the woods, we are in trouble. We had a Muslim bitch stand out on the steps of my Capitol today, look out at the protesters and mock them in this way, and this is what I was told she said. This is why it was a good thing I didn't make it out there. This belongs to us. This is our capital. This belongs to us. We are where we belong. And pointed out and mocked the protesters and said, see where they are? They're right where they belong. This belongs to us. Listen,
right.
You think I would not gone after her full force and gone to jail for it? You're absolutely crazy if you don't know me. Because when that bitch started standing up there declaring we were less than and that they owned the state of Texas and my capital, it would have been all like Donkey Kong. WWF, MMA, I don't give a shit what I had to do. I would have got that done.
Right. You know what? We've got some callers online, and I believe Wilbur is one of the first ones. Let's bring him on. Is this you, Wilbur?
Hey, fellas. Good to see you guys on the air again. I caught on to this thing in the Capitol. I caught on this thing late.
Hold on.
I apologize.
In your teeth. What do you want to do?
Anyway, I called on this late. And I really wasn't filled in. I was down yesterday in court helping a friend of mine, and he was a clown. But I understand that the Muslims thought they were taking over the Capitol, and they laid claim to the state of Texas.
Wow.
I'm pretty pissed off, Wilbur. How do you feel about it, buddy?
Oh, I'm amazed. It's like I said, I remember old-time Texas. You know, and if somebody stood up there and said something like that, the crowd would have stormed up on the steps and threw her out in the middle of the street. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what we're going to do to solve this. I really don't. I can't think what we're going to do to solve this outside just mass violence or something.
Becky.
I think Don Green was down there.
I don't know if she got knocked off.
I'm right
okay.
here. I'm driving in the car, so it may be a little bit noisy. Listen,
It is.
I was up until almost 5 a.m. this morning. I reached out to Judge Chambers yesterday to see what I can do in a legal manner, what we can actually do to counter what our state government has not only allowed but assisted in concerning the violation of Constitution in the state of Texas, these 3 reports, and what's been enough time in Texas is theirs. Let me tell you something. I'm a very law-abiding citizen. I really am. I tell the truth, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't go out looking for trouble. But the shit they're about to bite off from many Texans who are not going to sit back and take this, it's going to be real ugly. We don't find legal resolution. So I worked on that legal resolution until almost 5 a.m. this morning with Judge Chambers. And I would be happy to have you guys, everybody listening, especially, bring all your friends to the show. And on Saturday, I'll have Mr. Reed back on, Judge Reed back on the show, and we will explain to you exactly what we intend to do, the addition to the Sixth Amendment in our state documents, because what they're doing is illegal, it's unconstitutional, it's a direct violation, and we can no longer allow this to occur, and we are going to force the hand of our own state Congress to stop the bullshit. Otherwise, they will be taken into custody and tried for treason. Period. End of fucking story. I'm tired. Done.
You know, Becky, what you want to do is you wish that the senators and congressmen were around there, you know, in evidence, so you could point to these people and say, look, do you know what they're doing? They're ignoring you. They just nullified you. You ran for office. You were a Democrat or a Republican. You stood against or for gun rights and all this. And these guys came here and said, you don't matter. You don't matter at all. Some goat herder 1,600 years ago just overruled you. Pack your shit and get. Now, when you're in there to vote, think about that. Think about that.
Wilbur, what it does is it sends a very clear and present message to me, and this is what it says. We knew our government in the state of Texas were federal whores. For federal money, they became whores, okay? But what we now know is that they are so deep in it and that they have yielded to Islam in my state because the pig and thief, the little cockroach piece of shit, the usurper, is part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and he owns this friggin' country. He owns it because our state officials have been poured out, and they have bent and given in. But you know what? What they didn't count on is the fact that government is supposed to be governed by the people, not by the government over the people. And we know this, and we're spreading that word, and we're waking people up. And let me tell you something. I'm nobody's government whore. You get what I'm saying? I'm a patriot. I am a constitutionalist, and I am a pissed-off bitch. And I am just full enough of enough knowledge and education at this point to fight these bastards legally and win this battle. Because I have surrounded myself with a group of people who are constitutional attorneys, who are law attorneys in other areas, retired judges, some true constituents that are actually not on the tape, that are advising us every step of the way, and I am not playing. Hear me? I am not playing this game anymore. I will not see my children nor will I succumb to Sharia law and the likes of the Muslim cockroaches in my state. If any Muslims are listening to this show, I'm coming, and you will no longer be on the soil in Texas when we are done. It will not be. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, you have no.
Right.
Sorry, brother.
Hey, Wilbur, if you can hang on for a second. We've got another caller, and we'll just, we'll keep you on, and let me bring this person in from the 214 area code. Who do we have?
That's Connie.
Hey, Connie. How are you?
How are y'all? Got a question.
Good, good.
Do you think there's any hope of Texas filing for succession? We've got a movement going on, and within 2 weeks, it is overflowing.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. This is shit or get off the pot time. Because if it don't happen now, within the next 2 weeks, it looks like Texas is in some serious trouble.
Yes.
What do you think, Becky? I know what she thinks.
It is time. Yeah, it's time to shit or get off the pot. Because I'm gonna tell you what. I wake up one every morning. You know what that mood is? My mood is to have a cup of coffee and to get the shit out of somebody over this political issue that we're having and to take over in America. Well, guess what, guys? I've had my coffee today, so guess what kind of mood I'm in?
Right. Right.
There's got to be an involvement. People have to start taking this serious. One thing that Doc talks about all the time, and I mentioned, we throw these things, we go down there, and you get 50 or 60 people show up, and everybody's too busy to show up, and all this kind of stuff. And then when the nut comes, then they're going to say, oh, what happened? What happened was you didn't show up. You didn't show up.
Hey, Wilbur, you want me to tell you what Micah? Let me tell you what Micah sent me. This is going to piss you off concerning what you're saying. This is relevant. Let me just tell you what our little sister Micah, who by the way, folks, has 3 kids, 15, 3, and 6 years of age, and she took them out of school and took them with her so that she could show up. And she lives 4 hours from her. And she drove, and she showed up. So you people that live in and around the Austin area that didn't show up, shame the hell on you. Okay? She took off of work and took her kids out of school because, by God, she stands for what a real
She's actually homeschooling.
Well, you know what I mean? Yeah, she is homeschooling.
Right.
You're correct. But it doesn't matter. She
Right.
just took them out of class.
Right.
So
Right.
she sends me a little text, right? Hang on, I got to find it because I text so many people this show. She sends me a little text, and this is what it is. It's a screenshot of what somebody said on Facebook that actually went to Austin today to support the protest against what was happening. Christine said, hanging around the Capitol in Austin this afternoon, a Muslim girl approached me recognizing me. You know what she said to me? She said, we had over 600 of us here. You only had 20, exclamation point. This is the second largest state in the union, and that's the best you can do? Please. That's pretty damn sad.
Wow.
First of all, the Muslim's an ignorant bitch. It's not the second largest state in the union. It is the largest state in the union per populace. Okay? We have exceeded the as second because of the invasion. We are now the first most populated state in the nation.
Wow.
That's pretty bad. See, if she'd have walked up and said that to me, she would have left with no teeth. Because the reason they had 600 people there is it was organized. We had a week to organize for this. That's how we found out about it. It was a week ago. And I'm not making excuses for patriots, but I will tell you this. They have the financial backing, and CARE, a terrorist organization that has been deemed an organization of terror, funding terrorism across the board by our own government alphabet agency since 1991, and they are still growing and have lobbyists and are involved in politics and invited into the White House and into the state capitals by our own government. So, see, that's called aiding and abetting terrorism. And that's part of what we're going to cover with Reed Chambers. It is aiding and abetting. Our governments are guilty of it, and we're not going to stand for this shit. But it's going to take an army. 20 people cannot get this done. They mock us. I don't know how you feel about being mocked by a bitch on the steps of my state or somebody walking up to one of my patriots and running their mouth like that. I don't take it very kindly. I don't take it well at all. It pisses me off. And I would have swung on her. I would have hurt her. I would have said, yeah, but only 599 of you bitches are going back. How about that? You see what I'm saying? I'm not good with that, Wilbur. I'm not good with that at all. And it is going to take an army. It's going to take patriots rising up and doing what they have to do to get this done. I cannot do it by myself. You cannot do it by yourself. Collectively, we cannot do it with 20 people. Bobby, take your show for a minute. I'm going to run in here and grab a sandwich real quick, but I'm listening.
Okay. I was actually going to ask Connie, what are you trying to do to make a difference, Connie?
I'm going to take over the Garland, the Mesquite, the Rockwall, my local areas around here, and they are having a meeting today over in Tarrant County pushing this. They asked me if I would start a group over here. We want a group everywhere. We have got to focus on one thing, and that's getting out from under our government.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I say we work. If we have to work 24/7, we do it, and we do it in a hurry. We don't have time. I've even having signs made on my vehicle for succession. And in the group I'm in and the other group, they're doing the same thing. We have got to get more people involved.
Yeah, time has been out for a long time now. So time is...
Yeah, I'm panicking.
Time is not of the essence any longer.
If we can't get this done, it's going to be a revolution. Short and simple. A lot of bloodshed.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that we're already on the border of a revolution. I think that, we're closer to a revolution now than we've ever been.
Yes, we sure are. We're one little thing will send us over the edge.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think enough patriots are ready to stand up and start finally doing something. You know what? We might have to grab a few of them by the hand and show them where they got to go and how they got to do it. But I think that they might actually do it this time around,
I do too.
I
do too.
But I will say one thing about Texas, okay? All right, I'm from Illinois. I'm in the Chicagoland area here. Life is completely different than down by you guys, okay? Things are completely different here than there. But I will say one thing. From as long as I've been on this radio show, doing this radio program, I've seen a lot of operations, this and that, come and go. And I've seen a lot of people trying to do marches on Washington and so on and so forth, and none of them showed up like they did in Texas. So I will stand up and say I'm very, very proud of the way that Texas stood up the first day of the whole Garland, situation that we had going on there. So
I've
Texas,
never seen anything like it.
I know Texas will come together if they have to, and they will go down there and handle whatever business they have to handle. Now, I wish other states would follow suit and go along with the same program, but I don't know what I don't know what it's going to take to get people to do that.
It's going to take one state to do it, and our neighbors, Oklahoma, Arizona, they will do the same thing. They will follow Texas's lead. I believe that with all my heart.
Well, you know what? Like Becky said last night, because if they take Texas, it's over with.
Yes, it sure is.
So, all righty, Connie. Well, we appreciate you calling us, darling, and you're always welcome to come in here and join us and get in on these conversations, and and I'm glad that you're listening.
I appreciate you guys working hard. So,
all righty,
y'all
Connie.
carry on. I'll be listening.
All right, we'll put you on hold, darling. All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, we got some other callers here with the 903 area code. Who do we have? 903, who do we have? (903) area code, going once. Going twice. I will put them back on hold, and if they want to get back on, maybe they can raise their hand again. Let's bring Keith in. What's up, brother Keith?
Well, I'm just sitting here listening to your conversations, primarily.
Yeah.
And I was sitting down and was talking to a friend of mine Of course, I'm like you. I'm in a different part of the country, and they had a big ad here in the paper. What they call the Park Association, the Queen. They're getting ready to go after and look to see who they can find the Queen. And I'm like, people don't understand that here in Iowa we've only got one mosque, and because they don't want to come here, because Iowa is the number one producer of pork in the country. And
right.
I was thinking, I'm talking to a friend of mine, and I said, you guys should take it one step farther. You guys should start putting together some balloons. I said, what for? Well, you put water and bacon grease in them and start throwing them at them all. What are they going to do?
Ooh, that's a damn good idea.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Wow, that's a real good idea.
Because you're not doing any damage to property. You're not doing anything to hurt anyone. But boy, you can sure take care of a lot of this. Because everywhere we walk here in Iowa, it's called Bacon Nation almost everywhere we go here. Bacon here, bacon there.
Well, let me do a public service announcement. We do not condone anybody to put water and bacon grease and sausage and ham and pork fat and none of that. We do not condone anybody doing any of that and putting it in a balloon and throwing it at people. But when you do, make sure you do it pretty damn good. That's all I got to say.
It was just an idea.
We do not condone it. We do not condone it, so don't get it confused.
But we just thought it was a good idea, though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
absolutely.
The other thing I could have mentioned to you, and Connie picked up a little bit, and I agree. Where time is of essence right now. Okay, and one of the things that there's another group that's working and doing common law courts, and they sent out a deal to just under 1,800 judges and all, and they did a quick pro or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, if you read the article, the whole deal is we know that they're in in violation of the Constitution or a number of other things. They have 7 days to get in line. If not, we have the right to have them arrested and charged with treason. And it's another direction. If we could find some constitutional sheriffs down in Texas, this would be another way to start, putting a hole or making some sleep slow down too as well. Because these are things that the actual deal is it's actually set up on their own laws that they've broken and violated, so they have to answer to it.
Well, I actually think that Sheriff Mack, to be honest with you, might be one that would be interested in doing something like that. But then again, I think I'm starting to learn some things about Sheriff Mack that I'm not so sure about. He seems like a good guy, but I think he's got an agenda. I don't want not one sheriff that has an agenda to be part of anything that is going after the government, because all that means is that he's going to be another greedy bastard that's going to take the position of the person that we just took out and do the same damn job. So anybody that has any personal agendas that wants to help out and they're a sheriff and stuff like that, we don't want them, because they're going to do the same exact job. They might do it a little bit differently, but eventually they're going to be that wolf in sheep's clothing. So that's the way I feel about that whole situation. Did I lose you, Keith?
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure that the system is not going bad. 937. If you press that one button, and you can hear me, and you want actually back, you want to try to get back on here, and you got something to say, by all means, press that one button, and I'll be more than happy to bring you on. Because when we tried bringing you on last time,
I think that's Terry Fletcher, Bobby. I think that's Mr. Fletcher.
Oh, is it? You know what? I tried pressing the button and tried bringing him on, if that is Terry, and wasn't able to get him here. I'm going to try it one more time. Hey, Siri, is that you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can, sir.
Oh, okay. I've been having trouble with my device. Last night I couldn't call in. When Thomas Smith was Mr. Smith, my just froze on me. Couldn't do anything but listen. And I went to the podcast a while ago and didn't get a sound either. And then I had to go back, take the battery out, and do. I was able to call in. It's my phone. The only thing worth communicating is. But you guys were talking about, patriots and people taking action. And what's it going to take to get people and to bust? I'm guilty.
Hey, Siri,
I think a lot of
you're breaking up really, really bad, Siri. You're breaking up really bad. I mean, we can only get like 1 or 2 words out of maybe 10 of what you're saying. So let me try to mute myself and see if that works, because sometimes that helps a little bit. I don't know why, but here, hang on. Let me do that. So hang on here. Let me try.
Are you there? Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I'm muted. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Am I coming in Lima, Charlie?
Yep, you sure are. Go ahead, Terry. We can hear you. Go ahead. Terry? Hello?
I think we lost
I got
him,
something.
brother. He is, Terry's kind of out in a rural area, and he has a lot of problems with signal, so he goes up and down the hill so he can join us on the radio show.
Right. Okay, hang on. You know what? Here, let me see. Let me try this. 903 area code. Who do we have?
This is Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie. Welcome aboard.
How you doing? Yes, I'd like to
Good, how
ask
are you?
you, sir.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Okay.
The Air Force base that they took in Texas. One does Texas not take it back? I mean, something's got to happen, or something's got to happen quick. And with them having an Air Force base, something needs to be done quick about it. Do
Becky,
you agree with
that?
I believe he's referencing the Lackland Air Force base issue where they're holding a mosque and non-Muslims are being made to participate in the Muslim prayer. Is that what you're referencing, sir?
Yeah. I mean, if they took it, why don't we take it away from them? I mean, it's got to start somewhere. And them having an Air Force base is something that is I mean, really looking bad. So why didn't Texas take it back? I mean, it's got to start.
We're being forced, sir, in a situation where that very well may be the case when it comes down to it. Right now, what we're trying to do is counter what our Congress in the state of Texas has allowed concerning Islam and the mosques and the Sharia courts that have been implemented and so on and so forth. I actually have a legal team, as we are speaking, that is working diligently and writing a proposal for an addition to the Sixth Amendment of the state documents explaining that there is a direct violation to the Constitution between church and state, if nothing else. But there are some criminal elements to our government allowing Sharia court. And we want to address what's going on with our government, our law enforcement, allowing CARE to operate and stand in front of Congress today in our own country, in our own state. when they are non-terrorists with ties to other terrorist organizations. So we are addressing that. Ron, I want you to know that I battle every day, and I'm trying to find a resolution so that we can avoid the revolution. Does that make any sense?
Well, ma'am, I sure appreciate.
Pardon?
Ma'am?
Sir?
Sometimes I can't understand you because of her phone.
Well, I'm inside an environment that's a little bit noisy, and it's going to be sensitive on the microphone to noise. I'll reiterate this back to him, Bobby, if you can tell him that in just about 5 minutes I'll be through eating.
She's in a few minutes. You should be able to hear her better in a few minutes. What she was pretty much saying is they're working on trying to do something, and they're actually in Texas. There's a group that's forming that they're forming together, trying to make a move, and they're bringing people in for different specialties and stuff. And they're a group of people that are I guess known for different areas. And what they're trying to do is form a coalition that might be able to help with the uprise. So, but she's working with a group right now that has already been talking about doing that and trying to take that Air Force base, and get everything back to normal there and stuff. So I know that's one of the things that they have that's on the agenda.
Okay, but like you say, it needs to be done quick. Right. The longer they have it, the worse it's going to get. Them having an Air Force base, taking our air. Did Obama give it to them, or did they just go and decide they wanted it, and nobody did anything about it?
That's a good question. It's a very good question.
Oh, I'm sure Obama gave it to them because of everything else that he's given to them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. But they are trying in a hurry to try to do something about it, because I think that would hurt Texas worse than anything. Them having an Air Force base.
Yep.
I think that is something that needs to really be took care of at once. I don't know if you agree or not, but.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We don't want them to have no control of nothing like that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That right there is a major thing that needs to be taken care of. That gives them a lot of control.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, listen, I sure appreciate y'all talking to me.
Absolutely.
And I'm doing what I can to get members and stuff, and a lot of people just don't understand, don't realize what's happening until it does start happening, and then it's going to be too late.
They'll be the ones that's getting walked to the FEMA camps and being dumbified even more than they are, while the other ones are going to stand and fight the good fight, because we ain't going down. We ain't going to let them take it. There's no way. We're not letting them take it.
Well, that makes me feel awful good, because I'm a true Texan, and I don't believe they'll ever take our guns without a revolution or a war.
Absolutely.
I'd rather be nuked than them take over and be under their control. I'd rather be dead.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. All right, we appreciate the call. We got a couple more people we're going to get on, but I'll put you back on hold. Thanks for calling us.
That's okay. That's okay, sir. I'll get you another time. I sure appreciate it.
All righty, sir. Thank you.
Now.
All right. All right, Terry, you back on?
Yes. Can you hear me now? I'm clear.
Yes, sir. We got you now.
I apologize for the problem there. I don't know what's going on with this device. I may change out with somebody I know. But
Right.
I hear that noise again. Hang on.
Yeah, somebody's phone is making some noise or something in the background. Whoever's doing that, if you got an open mic, can you please mute your microphone?
Okay.
There you
testing. All right, that's
Much
clear.
better.
Okay, I missed something about the base. What a base was given away or taken, or what was that?
No, the gentleman was asking about the military base in Texas with the Air Force Base where they do the Muslim prayers and all that stuff. And Becky said I forgot what she said the name of the base is, but I guess they've been doing the Muslim prayer.
It's Lackland.
Go ahead.
Lackland Air Force Base. Right here.
Oh, Lackland.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's the one where they were taking the immigrants, was it not, Miss Becky?
Yes, sir. They were taking them to about 8 different bases in the state, but Lackland would be one of those. You're correct.
Oh, okay. Now, isn't there several bases that were closed down under the old man Bush administration that they utilized for that purpose?
As containment? No, not in the state of Texas. There were some that were shut down. The one in Long Beach, California, was shut down and given to the Chinese by Clinton. It was given to a Chinese merchant company, shipping company that is actually owned by the Chinese government and have been caught between nuclear weapons, bioweapons, and Russian arms in violation of maritime law on 3 different occasions, and still Clinton gave them that port, which was an old naval base.
Okay. Well, totally unconstitutional. Absolutely. Yeah. With all the land grab that's going on, nothing surprises me. I believe it's a wide open runaway train of tyranny. Agenda 21, the New World Order on the move, and they don't give a rat's ass what anybody says, gripes, or does.
Listen, Terry, I'm gonna correct you because I had this brought to my attention yesterday as well. We are not experiencing tyranny out of the White House. We're experiencing that out of Congress. But what we are experiencing out of the White House is a declaration against this country by a foreign entity that has put into place a usurper who is a foreign national, not an American, and he is a sleeper cell spy. He is what's coming out of Washington is actually war. Espionage is being used on this country, and they have taken over everything. Go ahead, sir.
I fully agree. Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening. Just as I tried to get in earlier, I heard Bobby talking about you might have to grab some patriots by the hand and show them where to go and what to do. And I think collectively the patriots across this country are waiting on something to happen. And we all just keep waiting. I think once whatever that big event is to go down, people will step up. But in the meantime, they just keep gaining ground and gaining position.
Let me explain to the patriots that are listening with an earshot of this show. You keep on waiting, and it's too late. Because if you're waiting on something to happen catastrophic, what the hell? You're part of the problem. You're the one that allowed that to happen. The loss of lives will be bared on your shoulders as much as anybody else's because you were too lazy to get up and take action.
You know what, Becky? They're bigger than the problem. They're bigger than the problem, and I'm going to tell you why. They got us leading to believe that they're on our side, but they don't want to stand up and do anything about it, so that actually gives them bigger and better numbers because we ain't got nothing to show for it. Look at every time we go to damn Washington. How many patriots show up in Washington? 15. 15 patriots? Are you kidding me? in Washington on a major
Unless
march?
unless it's a glorified bike run where they can show off their machine.
Oh, yeah, we know that. We talk about that all the time.
You know,
Absolutely.
and measure their penises by accomplishment. We can't get anybody there. And then I have to say this about my bikers. I love them all. I love my bikers. I ride a bike. I love my bikers. I'm a biker babe. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're a veteran and a biker and you show up in millions to go pay homage to the wall of the fallen, while you're there, once you do your damn job, you keep bragging about how you took an oath to protect me against foreign and domestic enemies. How about you do that shit? You show up for millions to go to a wall, but you can't, while you're there, handle what needs to be done to arrest those people. You know what? All I can do is sit here and shake my head and go, what the hell? Really? Go ahead.
It's pretty sad.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is anybody in agreement with me there?
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry.
Well, I agree with Becky wholeheartedly, and it seems like nothing has changed or nothing is changing as far as the topic of people showing up, like the 15 in D.C. We needed 15,000, 30,000, 100,000. Look back in the 60s when people was against the war in late mid-60s through the late 60s and early 70s. How people stood up by the hundreds of thousands. Now they're dying off.
Hey, Terry, let me go ahead.
Terry,
let me go ahead and make that even worse. Terry, let me make that even worse. Here's another example. You got a bunch of thug-ass punks by the millions march across this entire country over the death of a thug who's trying to kill a cop.
Yep.
And they burn businesses, and they rally together, and they come out of their little cockroach holes and little mouse huts, and they rally together. What the hell is wrong with patriots? Really, seriously, what is wrong with patriots? Why am I sitting here and watching my country fall apart, and I am fighting tooth and nail, and I'm putting 12, 15, 18 hours a day on this shit, and I got 50 people that show up at a rally in Washington, or I got 50 people that show up in Austin? Really?
Yeah, but Becky, a lot of those people were bussed in. I mean, they were bussed in and probably given a sandwich and $5.
You know what?
So,
it doesn't matter. We have patriots out here who own corporations, who own bus companies, who have every capability to dip in their pocket and help us do this. We're not seeing it done. We're not seeing it. Hell, Micah told 3 people. Micah told 3 people in her area. One was, I don't get paid till Friday. Another was, I don't get blah, blah. I can't make it. I don't have a way. And Mike offers a way today and says, hey, I'll fund the whole thing. Don't worry about it. I'm already going down there. And these 3 people don't even friggin' show up for the ride. That's what we're saying.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's bullshit right there.
She was even going to buy their lunch. Okay? It gets worse.
I know how to make this work.
Sir?
I know how to make this work, Becky. Ask me. Well, you got to have celebrity. And I don't know whether, I'm just going to use this as an example. I don't know what his politics are. But if you could talk somebody the caliber of a Willie Nelson to show up on our side of the fence, there wouldn't be enough room on the Capitol grounds for everybody to show up to stand behind him. You got to find something to people's attention.
I hate to disagree with you, Wilbur. I don't think that's like that anymore. Maybe 20 years ago that might have worked. Something like that might have worked about 20 years ago, but I don't think that's like that anymore.
Well, and I just use him as an example. I'm saying what you got to do is, you're right. They're bussing these people in. The Muslims are very aware of the importance of these gatherings, okay? They're very aware of it. We tend to operate as individuals, and that's our problem. We tend to operate as individual people, and we're counting on everybody else thinking the same way we do, and they come in the same way we do. You know. But anyway, that's my bit. I'm going to have to cut for a minute. I got a call coming in from Utah, and I'll come right back.
Right. Just,
Bobby,
he was actually onto something there. But I hate to say it, though, Becky. I don't think that's going to be the case. I really don't.
Brother, if I could get a hold of Ted Nugent, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I've reached out. I just haven't gotten any word back. Because I, too, have thought the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Great idea.
I really have. I mean, Ted Nugent stands for everything that we are. He is a true American. He's a patriot. And he's a very intelligent man, and he is versed in politics and the legalities of the Constitution. And once again,
he's pro-gun, too.
I mean, yeah, and he's pro-gun. He's one of us. He's a true patriot. And I have reached out, but I haven't received any word back. So, Terry, I thought about that as well, brother.
Somebody brought up Sarah Palin's name. I wouldn't want that bitch anywhere near anything.
Why? What's wrong with Sarah? Don't disillusion me. What's wrong with my girl?
Okay, here. Wait a minute now. You know what? I think she has a personal agenda. I don't want anybody that has a personal agenda to be anywhere near this, because all they're doing it for, they're looking for a big payoff in the end. You know what I mean? I want somebody that wants to do it from their heart and wants to do it because they want to stand up for the Constitution and because they believe in the amendments and what our forefathers, did to fight for this country and everything else. I don't want some jackass that's doing it because he thinks he's going to get the person's job. That I have a problem with.
Well,
I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but...
you're entitled to your opinion, and I vehemently disagree.
Yeah,
I think Sarah Palin is one of the finest Americans we got. I mean, what do we got to stand up? Who we got? I think
me.
We got Becky. I'm sorry, we definitely have Becky.
You know what, Terry? It's not against Sarah Palin personally, because I agree with you. Okay, I think she's a great American, and I think that she's really got some good ideas and on something good. But I just don't want anybody that is looking for that job and wants to take that job to be the person that stands up for that group, because they're doing it for all the wrong reasons, in my mind. You know what I mean?
So,
I mean, Sarah Palin is a human being and is an American. Absolutely. I think she's a great woman, and I think she's a great American.
I'm getting a double feed here.
You know what it is? It's got to be because Becky's in the background talking to somebody and she's not muted. Anybody that's... all right. There you go. She muted.
Well, anywhere I've seen or observed Miss Palin show up, there's been quite a crowd. Works for me. That works for the movement. Hell yeah.
Sure.
Well,
you're right.
Because I love me some Sarah. I model myself after her, don't you? I actually look like Sarah in the morning when I very first wake up, but when I make it to the bathroom, not anymore. It's just
Shut the fuck up.
By the time I get to the mirror, it's a whole nother person. It just really pisses me off. But
Yeah, right. Yeah, more like Tina Fey. More like Tina Fey, somebody that wants to be her.
I know, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Don't you guys please don't take it wrong. I mean, I think Sarah Palin really is a good American, and I think she's got a good head on her shoulders. I think she's kind of dummified a little bit when it comes to politics, but as an American, she's a good person. But you know what? I just... I don't know if they're doing it for the right reason, if it's somebody that's a politician. That's the only thing that scares me, is because to me, they're doing it because they want to get a job out of it and they want to be able to take that person's job. But then again, I really shouldn't knock it, because if she can do a better job and do everything properly, then, you know what, then why not? So, I don't know, I might be out of line here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Becky?
Yeah, honey, I'm right here.
You have one of the best patriots, well known right there in Texas.
Who is it?
Who do you think?
Becky Williams.
He has
know
a
what he's
ranch
gonna
right
say.
there out of Bryan College Station.
I knew
Oh,
he
you
was going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that, is it? You trader. Hang up on Keith. Disconnect his call.
Huh?
If
Yeah.
it's somebody above me in Texas, I need you to disconnect the call. I just lost fan base. I'm sorry, Keith. I'm going to have to kill you now.
Thanks
She
a lot.
wants to have dreams of Sarah.
Yeah.
She wants to have her dream of Sarah, so.
In fact, I'm changing my name. I'm changing my radio name to Sarah True Stinger.
Oh, God. God.
No, but seriously, Becky, Chuck is right there in Texas, just outside Bryan College Station.
Chuck who?
Chuck Norris.
Norris, yeah.
I thought you were going to say Chuck Smith.
Yeah,
No.
I was going to hang up on you for real. I can't stand that guy.
No.
Because if he did, I'd have had to slap the marbles out of his mouth.
No. I'm talking about Chuck Norris because I've read I don't know how many articles about him, and he's a true patriot.
Yeah. No, I thought you were talking about Smith Fix. I was going to say,
No. I wouldn't even go down that road. No, sorry.
Yeah, no.
No.
You know, I never heard about Chuck Norris being a Patriot. Is he really a Patriot?
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Bobby?
No, you said something about Chuck Norris being a Patriot. Is he really a Patriot?
Yeah. I've read all the articles about it from him. There's actually video of him available to watch even.
Well, I know that he used to really be a Texas Ranger.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Becky, behave.
He was actually involved with Special Forces for Air Force back in Vietnam.
Yeah, Chuck Norris is a bad man. Still, I wouldn't want to mess with him. No way, I wouldn't want to mess with him.
He's an 8th-degree black belt and 6-time world champion.
Shit, I don't care if he's 75 years old. That old man will still whip some ass.
Oh, yeah. The reason why I know so much about him is I had a friend of mine that used to spar with him when he was in the military. And we sit down, and he kept in touch with him after he left. And so the two of them, and then I've got came in. And so I've got to know a lot about him because of behind the scenes. He's a very approachable person, though. Because when a friend of mine and I were talking about, I was at Bryan College Station at the time. And he said, well, we could just kind of sneak over to his ranch and go see him. I said, I don't think I'll go anywhere sticking around that guy at all. And he said, no.
Yeah, right.
He says, no, he's a very approachable type person. Very, very approachable type person. He'll sit down and talk to you for hours.
Hey, Terry, I want to ask you a question. Did you hear anything about DSL David Lynch being escorted out of the Iowa Freedom Fest this past weekend?
No.
Yeah, somebody was saying they had some kind of report saying that DSL got escorted out of the Iowa Freedom Fest and people were booing him when he went up to speak. And we were talking about this yesterday, and I'm not really sure if it's true or not. And I just wanted to actually ask some Patriots if they knew about it because, a lot of people I know Manny Vega loves DSL, and, there's quite a few others, and I've actually been following him a little bit. And he seems like, his head's on pretty straight, too, that David, Lynch.
What did they give a reason why he was escorted off?
I didn't really get a chance to read into it too much. I think it was on Moretti's page that I read it. But
Well,
I'll have
I'm
to
not aware.
I'll have to look into it and see if I can find any more info about it.
All right.
I don't know. Well, let me give out the phone number to anybody that wants to give us a call. We're waiting for we're going to wait for Wilbur to come back on too in a second. But give out the phone number 929-477-3565. That's 929-477-3565 for anybody that might want to might have some questions or comments or any of the above. Feel free to give us a call. Press that number 1 when you call in so that we know that you have something that you want to talk about, and we'll be more than happy to bring you right on.
Hey, Bob, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. Took a call from Utah. Like the very subject we were talking on about people not showing up. I talked to Joe. Up in Utah. He's fighting cancer. He's in a wheelchair and all this. He's going to be back down here on the 13th to do some adoptions for my grandchildren so they can get some benefits. And I told him what we were talking about, and he said, if you can get me in my wheelchair and push me up that Capitol Hill on the 20th, I will be there. Period.
Really?
3 Bronze Stars and a Purple Heart in Vietnam. He said, I want to meet these people. I want to see them. I want to. You've been telling me about it, and if I'm able to sit up in my wheelchair and you can push me up that hill, I will be there. So we
would have plenty
like,
we would have plenty of patriots that would get them up that hill. That's for damn sure.
I think it would really it would affect Joe. I really think to have somebody appreciate what he did. And I tell him all the time, I said, my son Wilbur has gone over to Persian Gulf. I can't count the Muslims that he has sent to meet Allah. I really can't. He said, Dad, I haven't darkened the door of a Bronze Star. But this man got 3 Bronze Stars and a Purple Heart in Vietnam in 1968, or 69. But what did he do? Take an order with a slingshot? I mean, good God.
Yeah, right.
What he did, he saved several men in his squad from the Viet Cong. He personally attacked the position. He was shot in the eye. That's where his Purple Heart come from. And he got his men out and killed the Viet Cong. And we go, wow, Joe, how'd you do that? Oh, it's just what I did. That's kind of there, and there wasn't no way to do anything else, and so that's just kind of what I did. I asked him, do you have post-traumatic stress syndrome? No, unless you count being married to my first wife, that was pretty stressful.
Wow.
That is one tough bird to take a shot in the eye.
Oh, man.
Survive. Wow.
I'll tell you, Becky, I'll tell you this story. When he went up there to take his treatments up in Salt Lake City and everything, he left his Netflix set up down here, and I moved it up front to the front room so I could use his. And I had all of his favorites, one that he picked out, that's stuff that he wanted to watch. And I thought, let's see what old Joe's watching, all cartoons and children's stuff, things that he can watch with the kids. I really, really had to wipe my eyes. Nothing but cartoons, and he'd sit there and he'd order a pizza, sit those kids down, and put on some bunch of cartoons and sit there and watch them with them for hours.
You know what? My daddy was like that. My daddy, God rest his soul, I miss him so much. He'd sit down and watch cartoons with me as an adult, and I'd do it with him. We'd watch Roadrunner. He loved the Roadrunner. That Aardvark, that Anteater Aardvark. Yeah. And Roadrunner and Pink Panther. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he died at 74 years of age. He'd still be watching cartoons, man.
Joe's 71 and everything. And the odd thing is, like I said, he's my husband-in-law. He's married to my ex-wife.
Oh, don't you love that? You got right there.
I mean it. I come back down here from California. He asked me to move into his old house because he was having a problem over there, and I did and took care of it. Then his health went to hell, you know, and everything. So he had this cancer and this colon thing and all that. And I come over and his oxygen, and nobody seemed to know what to do. And I said, well, both my parents died of cancer. I know how to do this. What? I said, yeah, I can, all this stuff, I can do it, man. It's no problem. So I take care of it. You know, just have to take, yeah, that's why I said I gave up that hill, you know, I take care of him, and I've schooled him about the Texas nationalist movement, what it really means, because he's all-American. I mean, he's flag-waving all-American. This is crazy, you know, I do this. And I explained to him what was really going on. And as soon as he started losing his VA and, like, had to pay for his own chemo and stuff, he began to understand.
Hey, let me, if I can let me cut in for a second. I found out why DML was removed. Dennis Michael Lynch was removed from the Iowa Freedom Fest. He said that he was sitting in a seat for hours listening to speeches. He took the liberty to stand up to stretch his legs outside. He noticed by a number of people attending the event, people stopped in the parking lot, on the lawn, everywhere he went, they were asking him for autographs and to take a picture. And, you know, people were saying that they were upset that he wasn't invited by Congressman King to speak at the event. He said he didn't really speak on it or anything. And then when he tried to return to his seat, he was told he was no longer invited to the venue. 4 security guards and 2 cops walked him 20 minutes. They kept him waiting for 20 minutes while he asked for an explanation. He was never given a reason and told he would be arrested for trespassing if he did not remove himself from the property.
Well, that's crappy. That's pretty crappy.
This is from Mr. Lynch himself, because the question was just raised, and that is what he responded. And he also told me, let's keep our fingers crossed, people. We may have DML on Tuesday night next week. He said he's going to look at his schedule, and he will get back to me. Dennis, I keep calling him David, Jesus. Dennis Michael Lynch may be a guest of ours next Tuesday night.
Good. Wow, that is nipple stimuli, brother.
That is huge.
Thank you, Bobby.
That is absolutely huge.
Well,
we gotta step it up a notch, and if it's gonna take somebody like Mr. Lynch to help us get this out there and get the Patriots on board, I'm all for it. God bless him for what he does.
I can't believe that he was actually asked to leave the premises. I knew that I wasn't dreaming, or that I wasn't seeing things funny or whatever. So. Unreal.
Yeah, I get asked to leave a lot of venues too, but it's generally at my family's house, and when I show up for dinner uninvited.
Shit, you and me both. You and me both.
And it's funny, I'd walk into a biker's clubhouse and be welcome, walk into my family's house and be asked to leave. What the hell's up with America? What is that?
Being asked to leave for your family's house.
Y'all don't know my family, man. Have you ever watched Jerry Springer?
They would dumb it down.
They would dumb down Jerry Springer. She's exactly right. Tracy chimes in on that one. Listen, Jerry Springer would be frightened if my sisters showed up, okay? Yeah. I'm the only good gene out of the pool. Hello.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That's sad. All the listeners just went, "Holy shit!"
No. You know, my own brother has never read a word I ever wrote. Not a word. He just he even got on to me the last time I talked to him. I called my last book "A Simple Old Boy from Austin." And he jumped me because I've never actually lived in the city limits of Austin, so I'm nothing but a liar. Okay. By the way, Willie don't live in Austin either.
Wow.
He lived in Dripping Springs to the west of Austin. He had a place at Route 1, Briar Cliff 2, Dripping Springs, Texas. I know that because I kept trying to sell him music.
You know what I think? I think that if we held a big-ass music festival in Austin and we had girls in bikinis handing out free pulled pork sandwiches, I'll bet we could get a whole bunch of patriots on the steps.
You know, Becky, when I got the call from Utah, that's the subject we were on. We've got to get, and it isn't, I use Willie as an example, but you've got to get attention. You've got to get where people say, I want to be there. I want to see this. I want to see this. That's the one they're going to let me speak at the Freedom Friday, which is going to be special.
Where's that at?
In Austin, 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the Capitol.
February?
February 20th, 21st, 22nd, and we're going to...
Brother,
we're going to be down there.
You don't mind if I go find 20 Muslims to stand out in the crowd while you tell them they belong down there and we're up here? I'm gonna do 3 numbers. I think I'm gonna do 3 numbers on stage with Doc. One's that I wrote called Down in Texas, which is special. Then I'm gonna do the Texas song, and then if I can get Puck to show up, so it's kind of hard to book her these days, but if I can get Puck to show up, I'm gonna try to do Toot Toot, and every time I say she was born in a birth suit, the doctor slapped her behind, she's gonna turn around and slap her butt for everybody. And it's really going to be kind of emotional, Becky. You know the problem we went through with the CPS. Remember that? Yeah, I do.
Puck is going to be standing on the same spot that her mother stood on in 2008 when she made the video Jackie Speaks and spoke out against the CPS at the Capitol.
God bless her.
She's going to be standing. Her mother can't be there, so Puck's going to stand in her shoes.
I love it. I love that. Brother. That's a good message.
She's a ham. She's a ham. She's really a ham. She's got all her mother's intelligence, and actually she's prettier than Jackie was. Jackie was kind of a dumpy little Jew, and Puck is not a dumpy little Jew. She's a very pretty little girl.
And for the listeners out there, tell them what happened to Jackie, brother.
Well, okay, I'll give you a short story. Fill up the area with it. My daughter-in-law, Jackie, was born in Nashville, and she grew up in Detroit. Her father was John Brandt. He was my producer. We started out together, went through Branson, ended up in Nashville. John never wanted to raise any kids, so off and on through the years, I had Jackie off and on down in Georgetown and Austin. She finally moved down. She got pregnant when she was 17. Yeah. So I'm amazed. I've never seen a girl do that.
I did it.
She did. She did it. She did it.
First time I laid down with a man willingly, bam.
Yep.
Instant prego. Yeah.
Jackie could get pregnant looking at a billboard with a hamburger on it. I mean, she was that way. But she moved down. My son was in prison because he's a criminal. Jackie was pregnant, and there was a fanatical religious organization in San Angelo that was trying to take her child. So she had to become emancipated in order to nullify some paper that she signed like an idiot. She couldn't do it in time to have the baby, so Timmy said, well, look, I'm not going anywhere fast. Just have Jackie Joe marry me by proxy, and that'll emancipate her. We did, and it did. He got out of jail. We always made records, and she grew up in the studio, so we were making records, and we started making videos, and she came up with this idea called iJackie, where she made videos about young single mother having a kid, and with East California up, and we were bopping along. Timmy still had his drug problems and everything. We were bopping along down there, enter the CPS, and before it was said and done, Jackie lost all 5 of her kids. They demanded I divorce my wife because I stood with Jackie. She had to haul ass out of state, the whole 9 yards. She rarely spoke against the CPS publicly because she was afraid. They almost killed Puck. They almost killed Stephen, and she was scared of them. So at that one time, we went to Austin, and we set up a camera thing and everything, and she stood up in front of the Capitol and spoke out against the CPS directly. She stood in the Senate chamber up against the picture of the Alamo, and she said, like the men of the Alamo, we have to take things in our own hands. And we had two versions of the video. One we didn't put up until much later, where she stood in front of the University of Texas Tower, and she said, well, one thing, Texans can take care of business, and then it fades to the background, and you see Charles Whitman shooting his gun. We thought that was a little violent, so we cut that, but then later she called me and said, no, chuck it back in, I want to see it, I want it there. But she fought a hell of a battle against the CPS, a hell of a battle. And it come down to, if she didn't lay down under the bus, they were going to take our kids again. And she was mortally afraid that they would kill Puck. Mortally afraid. They tried the first time and they missed. So she told me, said, Dad, I'm standing at the gates of the Alamo. I'm going to have to take this hit. And she signed the paperwork. My then ex-wife could adopt the kids and remove them from the danger of being, placed all over the state. She went up to Fort Worth, where she still resides to this day, and her little girl, Puck, looks just like her. Just like her. And like I said, it's kind of emotional. It's when I see this little girl's going to be standing right there in the same spot that Jackie stood, it's almost, it's overwhelming to think about that. It's overwhelming. And Puck, Jackie always told her little girl when she was 2 years old, you are a fairy ballerina princess. In one of her videos, I think one I sent you, Becky, if you listen real close, when Puck's got the earphones on, she's got the rock and roll music going, she tells me, I say, what's your name? She goes, Carrie. I said, does anybody ever call you Puck? She goes, my teacher doesn't call me Puck, but my mother does. And then she says, my mother told me I was a fairy ballerina princess. And I thought,
wow.
My God,
she remembers.
She remembers that she's a fairy ballerina princess.
Wow. I went through something very similar with my grandchildren that you went through, and it cost me $60,000 at the end of the day, half of the hair on my head and about 15 pounds.
God.
And endless nights of no sleep and endless hours of complete anger in a 14-month battle to fight to keep my kids from going up to the state as wards of the state. And at the end of the day, brother, I can say this. One of the reasons I fight so hard, probably the biggest reason, is for them. You love your children. Bobby's a parent. He's a grandparent. You love your children, and you love your grandchildren. But until those children have been ripped out of your hands by a corrupt entity, and you've been misused you've been abused and they've been misused by the court system and demonized when you're in fact the ones that were trying to help those children, you realize love on a different level, and the determination that comes out of that love to fight and defend to the very death if I have to, my last breath. I'd step in front of 40 people with weapons to try to fade that from my children. You really don't understand the depth of a parent or a grandparent's love for a child until a parent or grandparent has been in that situation. I don't know how to explain it. I know, Wilbur, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'll tell you what, and like I said, two things happened during that, exactly what you're talking about. Exactly. You all of a sudden you realize the level you have to fight on, okay? The other thing was, like I said, I almost raised Jackie from diapers up. And I always, respected her and cared about her and everything, but I never knew she had such depth of soul.
Yeah.
When she, said what she said in that golf cart that day, I thought, God damn. Where did this kid come from?
Yeah.
She looked me dead, Becky. She looked me dead in the face. And Bob, you're from Illinois. This is a religious thing with Texas. Okay, she looked me dead in the face, and she said, "Dad, I'm standing at the gates of the Alamo." And that has no other meaning. That has no other meaning. I'm going to lose. They're going to get me. They're going to hurt me. But my kids are going to live. And she meant it.
Well, she fought a good fight. She stood up and she did. Fought a good fight.
It's a long time. She said things. I told Becky things that she would jump on those caseworkers. You would not believe. She would say things. The one thing that got her in trouble, like one of them came to the front door and she got mad. She said, you people usually come to the back when you deliver pizzas. I mean, or they drug test her. They drug test. I'm going to use a kind word here. I'm not going to quote Jackie because she had a mouth on her. They were going to drug test her. She said, "I've been drug tested. Well, we're not sure of the results." So she said, "You have collected all of my spit. You have pricked my fingers. You snatched every hair out of my noo-noo, and you ain't found a molecule of marijuana yet."
Yeah.
And she was that's a Texas girl, Bob.
Right.
Yeah, but she was really cool. I really admire Jackie. I miss her dearly.
Well, for all those people that are out there listening, Wilbur, hopefully you'll be an inspiration. I'll be an inspiration. If you find yourself in a situation like that, we are two people you definitely want to reach out to because we kick their ass at the end of it.
A friend of mine over here near where I live, I won't name her on there because she's asked me never to name her. She had a problem with the CPS. She asked me when they were going to come visit to come sit with her in her house. I showed up. The CPS worker walked in, and what is he doing here? And she said he's a friend, and he wants to sit here. That man is personally responsible for the death of 5 CPS workers. Just like that. Boom, power out. She left, and the girl said, "Did you really do that?" And I said, "No, I did not. She's lying. But I can't be responsible for people who follow me." when you go and you take somebody's children, and you don't expect a violent response, you don't expect that one day Pablo's going to walk through the door of the office and it's going to end up on CNN. I'm amazed. Jim told me one time, I asked him that. I said, why? I said, people get mad and they walk in the malls and shoot little girls all the time. Why hasn't anybody shot or hurt any CPS workers? They cover it up. They don't want it to hit the news. It's as simple as that. It would demoralize them, And I began to realize, because I'm starting to hear stories now from the underground. I'm starting to hear people telling me, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, so-and-so did. And you know for a fact that one of them got out of her car over in like Belton, Texas, and got hammered in the ground, but it never even hit the newspapers, And I don't know how they control that, but they do. It is getting a little better. The Sunset Commission didn't solve everything, but it solved some things. I met one worker, Miss Phillips, who met with me on this very porch I'm sitting on right now. She showed up alone. We talked for 2 hours, had coffee. Every problem we had with them was resolved, and she followed her word. But she's one. And she won't be there alone. She's too honest. They'll go, you know what I mean? She's too straight up. She's too good. So she won't stay there. She'll go somewhere else. But Becky's exactly right. Once you fight this battle, it changes you. It changed. I've told people in speeches and in writings, I've said, I don't have a soul. I have no conscience. I hate these people with all my heart. That's me, because I know that there has to be people like me in the world to scare them off from other decent people. And then I wrote an article about 4 days ago called "The Statue in the Park." The numbers came in on the dead kids in Texas, I think last year. When I first brought up dead kids in Texas a couple of years ago in an article called the 231 or 243, they called me down and I said, no, you got the numbers wrong. It was only 231, blah, blah, blah. This time I got the numbers, and the person sending me the numbers listed the children's names and ages, okay? Death count for 2014 is 749.
At the hands of foster care workers?
Foster care workers. They don't count them all because some of them died of this and that, but and I've often said, and I say it again, if I were to kill 749 caseworkers, I would be the greatest mass murderer since Hitler in history. They did that to 749 children. 749 children.
And that's why I work with Mary. Well, I haven't in a bit, and I really need to get more involved. But I worked with Mary Kendall, who is the national director for a group called Vocal, fighting against the CPS Nazis and the child trafficking that has taken place.
Yep.
I get you, brother, and God bless you for continuing to battle and to expose.
I've hit them. I've hit them so hard. I've done articles, and sometimes I even throw humor in the articles, even though it's not a humorous subject. There is a thing about CPS caseworkers. There's something weird. They love 13-year-old girls. I don't know what it is about 13-year-old girls, but every time one of them gets caught in a motel with a foster kid, it's always a 13-year-old girl. Yeah, it's almost like they get a special rate from Holiday Inn or something, and they're never caught by CPS. It's always the deputy sheriff, somebody like that. One got caught in Georgetown, no less. He goes in, picks this girl out after curfew, and he picks her up from the police department. He's an investigator and all. Took her to the Holiday Inn in Georgetown, had sex with her, stupid enough to leave his cell phone by the bedside while he showers off, and she called her dad. And the sheriff showed up. I had her here for her own protection. Yeah, right. and there was a director, and I'll shut up after this. I know I'm hogging the mic. There was a director in CPS in Austin who took a 9-year-old on a Love Boat cruise to Anchorage, Alaska, and back. Okay, now get that in your mind. 9 years old, Love Boat cruise, got caught. They started looking into his past. He ends up standing before the magistrate, gets 10 years in prison, and his parting words were, "I cannot believe this is happening to me after all the good I've done for the children of Texas."
Yeah, I wonder how many other children there were that'll be devastated forever. Look, I'm a survivor of child molestation and child rape, and I will tell you something. That has left marks in my personal life and my ability in relationships that you cannot even fathom. That mark that is left after the physical wound is gone, the emotional and mental mark that is left is a devastating mark. And I think that all pedophiles should be hung up by their nutsack, and I think I should chop it off an inch at a time. Personally.
Women take everything that way seriously. Women are when women fall in love with a man, he can be a stoned biker that never worked a day in his life, and she will knock herself out to make sure he has cigarettes. Women are like that. When you hurt women, then they hurt more than we do. When you make them happy, they're happier than we are.
Well, there's more than a virtue attached to the molestation or the rape of a child. Virtue is just part of it. The devastation that's left behind is unconscionable. I mean, it is like, I don't know how to explain it. I actually broke down at the age of 27 finally. My family never got me any kind of therapy or help for the first time. So when I was raped by my dad's brother at the age of 13, because I felt like as a little girl of 5 being shouted at and told to go to my room while my dad went after the perpetrators, who were an 18 and 14-year-old cousin. At 13 years of age, I was frightened to tell anybody what my uncle had just done to me. So you can see how devastating that was. And then at the age of 27, I actually broke down from it while being cheated on in a relationship. I just couldn't take it. All those feelings of being raped came back into the part of mental and emotional distress over it, and I felt like those same feelings I had when I was taken advantage of, and it was more than I could handle. I truly, literally broke down. I and it came out of nowhere. So the devastating effects that are left after that kind of crime is committed, I can't even put words to it. You know. It's terrible, and that's a very personal thing for me to talk about. But the listeners that are on here, you need to watch your children. Don't let them fall into the hands of somebody like that.
Yep, absolutely. You know what? I don't want to change the subject too much here, but though I kind of want to steer away from it a little bit. Monday, because it's kind of it's a touching thing, and I know it starts to affect people, and we don't want to do that right now. But Monday, please mark it on your calendar. As of right now, we have booked Tom Luju from Bunker Report. He is coming back on Monday.
Awesome.
The show will be from 4:30 to 6:30 or 5 to 7, something in that nature. But as of the other day, he will be joining us to come back on Monday to have a little talk with us. For those of you that don't know what's going on right now, they are making predictions that there's going to be, let's see, I'm trying to think of which one is the main one. I guess it's in September of this year that they're saying is going to be an asteroid, okay? And it's supposed to hit somewhere by Brazil and, out in the ocean, and it's supposed to be a major one and do major damage, stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to get into any of that right now. Okay, but what I do want to say is Tom is going to come back on. He's going to bring us the information that he has that was passed on to him by somebody that works for the government that's a high up, that's a friend of his. Now, with that being said, with all the scientists that have been coming up missing and getting killed and so on and so forth, and mostly NASA people, and then all the other things that are going on with the weather, and then in Japan they had the other volcano that, it erupted the other day, or at least part of it, and then, the Yellowstone, they had 128, it was 128 earthquakes, swarms, in 48 hours.
Jesus,
okay?
That is unbelievable.
That's not something to blink at, okay? So people, please, besides all the government stuff that we have going on, we do have other issues. Now, I'm not somebody that's very, very knowledgeable, though I study the weather and study the earthquakes and all that type of stuff. Tom, that's all pretty much that he studies. Okay, besides being a prepper and, and all that type of stuff. So, by all means, please give us a listen on Monday. You're going to want to call in if you have any questions and ask Tom. Tom will join us again Monday. As of right now, something could change because with what he does for a living, his schedule changes quite often. He's a security specialist and trains it to people, but as of right now, he will be with us on Monday. I believe it's going to be a 4:30 show, and I'll know more on Saturday. So, Becky, when she does her show on Saturday, I will let her know the information. I won't be around because it's my son's birthday party that day. But Becky will know, and we'll be able to tell you all if Tom will be on the show Monday for sure or not. But as of right now, it's a go, and he will join us.
Wow, that's great, man. We had an outstanding audience a couple of weeks ago when he was on the show with us, so I look forward to that. He is so knowledgeable in so many areas. I'm looking forward to that one. So you folks really want to keep up with us on.
Yeah, I want to listen to that one real bad.
Yeah, he's an amazing individual. Man, you talk about smart.
Well, we had thousands of listeners, and our phone lines were so jammed up, people couldn't even get in, and we have a limit of 200 people to call. What the hell does that tell you?
Yeah. That was pretty amazing.
Sure, Bobby. You telling me people are actually listening to me?
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately,
sometimes.
that many people show up at my house for karaoke. So I actually do get to have an audience at some point in my life. You know, they don't really show up to listen to me. They just want the free food. You know, I'm a good cook.
Hey, Bob, I apologize. Me and Becky got off topic a little bit there. I apologize for that.
Yeah, we did.
No. I'm a grandparent too, man. Believe me, here, put it this way. I've got 6 kids between my wife and myself. My oldest daughter's 29 years old. My youngest son is 5, and my second youngest is 22. Okay, so
we call that
now. Yeah, so you call that starting life all over again.
Yeah, you retarded. I'm gonna call it what it is.
Everybody was out the door. See you later, and this was an oops. We didn't expect them, but you know what? We love them for every bit that we can. But my grandkids, everyone. Go ahead. And 2 grandkids on the way. So I'm going to have 8 grandkids here pretty soon. I already have 6. 2 on the way.
Damn.
8 grandkids. I'm only 46 years old.
Well, I've got every one of my grandkids give me something to remember. But the most memorable thing I got one. We all got nicknames. New Baby is just turned 4, and we call him New Baby because Jackie lost him on the day of his birth. She didn't have time to name him, so she called him the New Baby. He gets mad. He gets mad at me all the time. And he knows I came back from California. One day I got him his little butt real good. He looked me dead in the face and said, "You go back to California." Well, anyway, that's I was. You talk about grandkids will eat up all your airtime. I am going to shut up on that subject. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Bobby.
No, okay.
Bobby, do we have any more? Do we have any more callers, or have our brothers and sisters started their journeys home from work?
No. We've got a ton of people online listening to us right now. I mean, the phone lines are completely jammed up. It's just we don't have a lot of people that have pressed that number 1 button. I mean, we still got Keith, who his line is open. He can talk. Terry's line is open. You know, all their lines are all open if they got something to say. But we have a lot of other people that are actually online listening to us and on the phone with us. But they just don't have their hands up to ask any questions and get involved. That's all.
If there's anybody else that attended Austin today that happens to be listening in, I would really like for them to raise their hand. I need to get some feedback on what they witnessed in Austin and what they think the accomplishment was, if any, that came out of that, and how can we change things to make it a little bit better next time we go.
Well, you know what? We probably should have had Micah. We should have probably had Micah come on, or somebody, maybe Jim Klein. He might have been a good one to have on. Huh?
Micah actually had to drive back in out of Austin. She let me know she made it home. She had to fix dinner for the kids, so she had full schedule and couldn't make it on the show today. But I, my own curiosity, I really want to know what the hell, people. Really, seriously, what the hell? I mean, was it not worth a day off? Was it not worth missing a little time at work? Was it not worth buddying up and taking 3 or 4 people so you split expenses? I mean, I know why I wasn't there. I was up until 5 o'clock this morning working on a legal avenue to try to find some resolution and force the hand of my own court in Congress. I know why I was up, and I know why I didn't go. And you know, it's not an excuse; it's a fact. And unfortunately, I did not have the energy to get behind the wheel and drive into Austin 4.5 hours from my home with no sleep. I couldn't do it. So at the end of the day, there were people that weren't up until 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning doing the things that I was doing, working with a legal matter to try to amend the Sixth Amendment in our Constitution to add addition to that with a group of people. So what the hell, Patriots? You know, what was your excuse today for not showing up? What was the excuse of the Freedom Texas people, that we had a lack of show with the Texas Nationalists? We had a lack of show TNM. We had a lack of show. Listen, you're telling me that you're fighting for my stay. And I'm going to go ahead and just, I give out shit sandwiches all the time on this radio show. Truth sucks, but I'm the one that's going to deliver it. And I'm applying pressure to those leaders and those organizations who everybody will show up at Orion's or Dickey's barbecue for a damn meeting. I want to know why you'll drive 2 hours to Plano, get to a meeting, but you won't drive 4 hours to Austin to let the Muslims know they're not taking our friggin' state. They're not welcome in our capital. We're not good with what they're doing. And I'm sorry, if that tastes like shit, then why don't you do something so I can serve you up some toast and jelly next time instead of a shit sandwich? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, guys?
Yep.
Am I being
Well, here,
harsh?
let's give out the phone number. Let's give out the phone number to anybody that might be listening that may have been there or, may have some information or something. 929-477-3565. That's 929-477-3565. When you call in, just make sure you press that number 1 so we know that you have something to say. We've only got about 9 minutes left here. And I don't know, Becky might keep the show going a little bit longer, but I can't stay past the 6:30 mark. So, but anybody that if anybody has something to say, please by all means give us a call, or if you're already online, just press that number 1 button and we'll bring you right in.
Yeah, I hate to sound harsh, Bobby. I really do. I hate that I have to. First of all, I'm not a babysitter. Second of all, I'm not your mom or your spouse. And third of all, I shouldn't have to beg you to do what is right. You know what I mean? There's a level of frustration there for me that is unbelievable in my own state. When I'm fighting 15, 18 hours a day, I'm on the phone, I'm in round tables. Get off my line, NSA. Get off my line and stop. Just stop making the noise. Get the frig off my line. Because at the end of the day, when this shit hits the fan, we're coming after you. We know who you are, okay? You're going to pay for your tyranny, so get the fuck off my line. Stop interfering with my conversation. Check yourself. At the end of the day, you're going to answer for what you're doing. You're interfering with my, I don't know if y'all can hear all that noise, but it's pretty irritating. At the end of the day, we will rise above, and we'll do this in a legal manner. I preach it all the time, resolution, not revolution. And I'm reaching out to you guys. Like I said, I'm not your babysitter. I'm not your boss. Get off my damn line, you bastard. Get off.
What are you hearing, Becky? What are you hearing?
Like
That you keep saying that.
It sounds like paper rattling, the crunching of foil. They're fucking with me. And then I heard a laugh. So
really,
they're enjoying what they're doing. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's really loud. My microphone.
No, we can't. So they're getting you solely.
Oh, good. So they're not messing up the show. Well, then I can just put up with their bullshit.
No, I can't hear it whatsoever. I mean, and I just can't hear it. So I mean,
okay, well that
good. doesn't mean they're not doing it though, because I'm a hard of hearing bastard. I'll tell you that.
Wilbur, Connie, any of y'all, can you hear any interference in there, or is it just me?
I know. I hear the constant crinkling of paper. It's kind of like somebody's ripping paper and crinkling paper all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I hear it. If I hear it. And if I can hear that, they can hear me.
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah, they can hear it.
I don't hear that at all.
So I hear it, and everything. I know where they're from and everything, but we got a term for that down here in Texas. It's called chicken shit.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's frustrating. They're doing it to try to silence me, but listen, I'll just go to the next show and say the same shit. I'm invited all the time. I don't care what they do. They're not going to shut me up. And they need to get the hell off of here. See, what they don't understand, because they're just damn ignorant.
There they go again.
Yeah, every time I talk. Yeah. What they don't understand is they're this stupid. We have people in anonymous and in technical positions that know exactly who they are and know where they live and know about their families, just like they keep a dossier of us. We know who these bastards.
Yeah, but you know what, Becky, let me warn you. I wouldn't go there. Seriously, I wouldn't go there. I mean, that might be going a little bit too
I'm
far
not
because
making a threat.
that could be considered.
No. I'm not making a threat. I'm just letting them know that at the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, we're not the only ones that will be spotted to know where we are so that they can kill us and murder us.
Okay.
I think you shouldn't, Becky. No, you shouldn't make threats, okay?
Oh, I'm not making a threat.
We need to let them know that I just seen their sister and she's made over $200 already.
Well, yeah. I'm just letting them know they need to cut shit. They need to get on the right side of the fence because treason is not it. And this is a form of tyranny, and it is a form of oppression. And at the end of the day, they need to get where they're supposed to be. Period.
I'm just trying to keep the knocks on the door to a minimum. I mean,
I hear you.
I'm not trying to be funny, but Becky can tell you, Wilbur,
they
police have been pulling me over. The cops have been pulling me over left and right, and I can't figure out why. I haven't been pulled over by the police in years, and in the last month, I've been pulled over at least 4 times.
They don't pull me over. You know what they do? They show up at my house and tell me it'd be in my best interest to be silent. That's what they do to me. I don't get pulled over by a cop. I get fed showing up at my door, walking up on me, getting in my car, and telling me it'd be in my best interest to stop pursuing to deliver Texas. You know what? I am not afraid of them. I'm not making a threat. I'm letting them know we know the same things they know. They will not push me into silence, or will they push me into fear. I do not fear them. Now, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just letting them know when the shit does hit the fan, which is what they're trying to create, while we're trying to find a resolution and avoid a revolution. Right. It's Katie bar the door, bitches. It's Katie bar the door because at the end of the day, here's the deal. When they get through and they don't need these people that monitor us anymore, they're going to kill them too. They're going to oppress them too. At the end of the day, the very hand them right now will turn on them and devour them. History repeats itself. It has repeated itself time and time again. This is nothing more than another World War II Nazi situation.
Becky, back in World War II, when they had the death camps going, there were certain Jews that would sign up to the SS in the camps and help them run the camps, and because the Nazis said they were going to get special treatment. When all the other Jews were dead, and they said, okay, what's our special treatment? They were told decent burial. Hey, whoever's running that paper, you're not going to override on me. I've been in country music for 40 years, and I can overtalk you. Okay, I'm just saying this because you're black. Go ahead.
Well, we've got under 2 minutes here. It's going to say 90 seconds any minute now. If you want to keep it going, Becky, you're more than welcome to. The only thing is you won't have control of the board.
Right.
Huh?
I won't be able to end the episode and send. Archive it.
Well, no, you'll be able to end it, but you can't press the button. So I'll just wait 30 minutes after, and I can actually close it out on my end, so it goes to Spreaker and all that.
That'd be
iTunes.
Great.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna say goodbye from here. Tomorrow night we will do a show. I did have somebody lined up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So this week has been kind of a screwed up week, and then my son's birthday is this weekend, so I've got a lot that I have to do, but we will get a show in tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe we can get who the hell did I say I wanted to have on to talk about TPP?
TPP.
Starting the show. Somebody. Who did I say in the beginning of the show I wanted to have on?
Yeah, you were talking about the transatlantic situation. We have Gene Smith on. That's who we want to have. Gene Smith.
Duh. I don't even know why I couldn't remember Gene's name. I'd like to have Gene on. So maybe we can get Gene. Maybe we can get Gene to join us tomorrow. If not, we'll figure out. We'll get another show going here. But everybody, please come back and join us. Thank you for listening to us. Without you, we are nobody. We are nothing. But we will keep fighting the good fight. We're going to be here as long as God willing, and as long as nobody takes us off this planet. We're going to be here, and we're going to keep trying to share information with you. And hopefully you'll keep coming back and sharing with us and participating and being part of our family. I'm still waiting on somebody to send me some kind of design that I can put on a T-shirt, because I want to start giving out shirts to people, to the listeners and stuff. And that's really about it. Oh, another thing, I did make a promise today, and, well, you know what, we'll save it for tomorrow, because I've actually been asked to share some information about somebody's GoFundMe. So it's something that we're going to have to talk about, and we'll come up with a conclusion on that. But that's
I need
it.
to, Bobby, I love you, brother. When you get off the line, I'll give another disclaimer for the NSA. Solely my opinion does not affiliate with you whatsoever, or any of the listeners on here. That's me making my own stand, and I'll give that disclaimer.
Oh, no. I don't mind that you do. But what I'm saying, though, is you've got to be careful, because they can twist it and use it and say that was a threat of some sort.
Oh, it's no threat. I'm just letting them know we're not as stupid as they think we are, and that
I understand.
They're gonna piss off enough people across the board, not in particularly me. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. And those people that are gathering that information are gathering it for a purpose. Believe me, I would not be one of those people gathering it, but there are people among us who do.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Right. Excuse me. I'll give a disclaimer for the NSA right now. I don't make threats. I make mail.
All right. Well, I will talk to you all tomorrow, and same bat time, same bat channel, 4:30. We'll do the show, and that's about the size of it. So thank you all for joining us. We love you all, and until next time, I'm going to leave, and Becky's going to take over. So good night, everybody, and
night.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Talk to you later.
Amen.
All right, bye-bye.